Let me welcome our witnesses and thank them for being here today to discuss the decline in the labor force participation rate, the underlying reasons for it, and for what it means for American workers. We've seen a steady decline in the labor force participation rate since the early 2000s. June's employment numbers revealed another drop in labor force participation to 62.6%, a record low for the post-recession period and the lowest we have seen since the late 70s. Today's hearing will explore the questions of why the proportion of Americans looking for work has fallen, what does this mean for our country and these Americans and their well-being, and how much of this is due to the economy, how much is due to demographics, to social and cultural trends, and to policies that reduce the reward of working. The discussion will center on the notable decline in workforce participation, including how the long-term and short-term trends factor into the issue, who is working less, where workforce trends are expected to go from here, and what that means for Americans' well-being and future growth. The combination of longer and shorter-term trends in the midst of an uncharacteristically slow recovery has made it difficult to determine the expectations for future economic growth and workforce participation. And that is why we are spending time here today asking these questions in hopes of shedding light on this topic. While many believe that America has entered a, quote, new normal characterized by lower economic growth and workforce participation, and subsequently require policies that lessen the negative consequences, is it too soon to claim that these trends are a permanent feature of the American economy? Our witnesses, we hope, will shed some light on all of this. As we know, we are not growing at a rate in terms of our GDP growth that is allowing Americans more opportunities to participate in a dynamic growing economy. And so I think the wisdom that can be brought to us by our witnesses today and the questioning that will take place is appropriate. With that, I'm going to turn to our witnesses. Dr. Scott Winship is the Walter Wriston Fellow at the Manhattan Institute for Policy Research, previously a fellow at the Brookings Institution, a research manager of economic mobility project of the Pew Charitable Trust, and a senior policy advisor at Third Way. Dr. Winship, thank you for joining us. Dr. Mother is a resident scholar and Jacobs Associate in Economic Policy Studies at the American Enterprise Institute. She has been a consultant at the World Bank and an adjunct professor at Georgetown University School of Public Policy and Economics, a professor at the University of Maryland. Thank you, Doctor. And finally, Dr. Jacobs, Elizabeth Jacobs, Senior Director for Policy and Academic Programs at the Washington Center for Equitable Growth. Before that, she was a fellow in governance studies at the Brookings Institution. Dr. Jacobs has also previously served as senior policy advisor here to the Joint Economic Committee, welcome back, and as an advisor to the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. I welcome all three of you,